I ended up reading so many books in today's 24-hour reading vlog. I had so much fun. So make sure you're subscribed because there's new videos 3 days a week, every single week. But starting tomorrow for Booktober, there'll be new videos every single day for the entire month of October. So I hope you guys enjoy. Welcome to another fun video. In this video, we're gonna be doing a 24-hour reading vlog, and I love these because I feel like I really get through my TBR and I get to like have a little challenge to read. Now in this 24-hour reading vlog, I will not be reading like without sleep, because I don't know if you guys know, but like if you do not sleep, you can literally lose hours of your life. So I just do not want to do that. I want to live as long as possible. So we will be breaking this up. I'll just read as much as I can each day, probably like 3 hours or 4 hours, maybe 6 hours, some days maybe 10 hours, just depends on how I feel and how much time I have. But we're gonna start with Rootless by Crystal Zarapia because I'm actually already into this book. I'm on page like 188 and it's really good so far. It took me a minute to get into it just because I don't know, when you're reading from a new author, you just like really never know what to expect. And I'm about halfway through and it's like really picked up and it's gotten to like a really good point in the book. So we're gonna read this and then we'll pick out another book because you guys know I like to read multiple books at once, but let's hop into this book first. It is literally stormy out here, but I'm almost at 15 hours. I've been reading most of today and like listening to audiobooks. You guys know whenever I'm working, I like can't actually read physical books, but hopefully the rain isn't too loud so you can actually hear me out here. But the book that I'm working on right now is Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron, and this book is so cute. I'm really loving it. It is a Muslim romance, and I think it is so cute because there's so much culture in it, and it's also by an author I've never like read anything from. I'll give you my thoughts whenever I'm finished. I have about 20 pages left, but I'm really loving it so far. And then I'm also reading In This Moment by Kayla Shawn. I'm on page 150 out of like 400. I'm getting through this one, but it's taking me a little bit longer. I feel like every time I pick it up, it is so big that it's like really daunting for me, and I just have to remind myself that it's like, I will finish it at some point, but I feel like the shorter books are almost less daunting for me and I can finish them a lot faster. I also finished White Tears, Brown Scars by Ruby Hamad, which is about, it says how white feminism betrays women of color. Absolutely love this book. It is such a good book for really any feminist, but I feel like as a woman of color, you'll feel very seen, and if you are a person that's not of color, you might feel very uncomfortable. But if you're on an anti-racism journey to like really learn how to be just like a better human and like better to the people around you, I feel like this is a good book, but it's not a starter book. So I would say read maybe Nice Racism first, or White Fragility, or So You Want to Talk About Race. I feel like those are good starters to like really learning how to do like anti-racism work within yourself. And if you've read those, I'd say read this after that. This will definitely make you feel uncomfortable, and I feel like as I read it, I felt very seen. And I left my full review on my Goodreads, so make sure you're following me there. I've actually been trying to read more books for just like learning and growing, and I've been trying to read at least one like each month. So this was my one. It took me a whole month to read, but I want to add in more of these each month because I think it's really important to try to like learn and grow, which I think you can learn and grow reading like fiction and stuff, but I want to specifically like target different areas. Like I don't know, just different cultures and stuff. And this one was just really focused on how to be like anti-racist to all groups of color. So it really focused on indigenous communities, and it also focused on people of Arab descent, and also a little bit on Black communities and other communities like Asian communities, but that wasn't like the focus. So I really enjoyed this one. I also finished Rootless by Crystal Zara Pia. Really, really, really love this book. I think I'm gonna rate this one a 3.5 because the ending wasn't my favorite, but I do think that this is such a incredible book if you, I don't know, maybe are on a journey to figure out if you want children, or you just like really want to better understand how women feel who don't want children. And I think that this was such an incredible book, and you don't like read books like this very often. I really enjoyed this one. One of you guys actually asked me to give a synopsis on like some of the books that I finished reading, and this one is about a couple who, it goes in like different timelines, like kind of back and forth, but it's about a couple who they have like know each other and been like so in love over the years, and they end up like getting together, but one of them wants children and one of them doesn't. Oh my gosh, it's literally thundering. One of them wants children and one of them doesn't, and so you get to see them kind of like battle back and forth between like deciding whether they want to have them or not, and then something happens, and I don't want to like spoil anything, but they have to like really decide if like this is what they want. And you get to see all of the emotions of a couple going through something that can be so hard, especially if you like have a different like mindset on like what you want out of life, because that is a huge decision. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that before they get with someone, or like right off the bat, and maybe it's because sometimes you don't even know. Like, I actually don't want children, and maybe I'll change my mind one day, but like right now I'm pretty set. Like, I do not want kids, and I'm 32 or 31. Wow. But I could change my mind. Like, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, I could change my mind, but I feel like I should be confident in my no, just like people are confident in saying that they want them. And my husband, he feels the same way. But what if like one of us felt differently, So this book really dives into that. And then Accidentally Engaged is about a couple who they meet by happenstance because they're neighbors, and while they're neighbors they kind of get to flirting, and then they find out that they're kind of like betrothed to be together, and her dad actually set them up to like be married, and she's like, oh, like I did not want to have like my family connect me with someone to be married to. I wanted to like fall in love, but she actually starts to have feelings for him, and they do this competition for baking together. And you end up just seeing them like actually get a spark for each other, and like start to grow and connect, and like really have feelings for each other. So it's just like a really cute book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to find the light because it's getting darker, but I'm really enjoying it. I have only 20 pages left, so I think I'm really going to like this one. And then the last one that I am reading is In This Moment by Kayla Shawn, and this is about Verse and Garen. And Garen's the girl who, she works at this place where she gets artifacts for people, and the artifacts are like really hard to get artifacts, and she is like trying to get these artifacts because her boss is pretty much like, I'll sell you my company if you can like really do well on these projects. And so this one guy, he's like, yeah, actually I don't want to like sell the things you're trying to get, so like tell your client he's not getting them. And then she's like, no, like please, like let's work through this. And then he's like, well, actually, like pretty much I'm interested in you, like, and if you'll like give me the time of day, like I will give them to you, or like sell them to you for like 10 million or something. So it's her pretty much having this agreement with him that like they can have this connection with each other, and it is really good. But anyway, I'm gonna head home, read a little bit more, and then I'll chat whenever I finish these. These books lately have me shook, I swear. I just like, I read Accidentally Engaged yesterday and finished that book, and I was so thrown by the ending, and I feel like this is also throwing me. I am like almost done with this. I'm on page 279, and I've never read anything by this author, and I think this is such a cute book, but literally the ending is sending me. Like, I don't understand. These authors are just going rogue. I feel like I can't predict endings anymore with romances, which is so nice because I feel like a lot of authors in the past have kind of taken the same route to like having the same, I don't know, way that they write and like the way that the story like ends up. And I feel like the last few books I've read have really just like thrown me for a loop. So I'm really loving this. I'm reading In This Moment by Kayla Shawn, and I decided to pick it up because I just am such a mood reader and I was in the mood to read this one. And there's a part where Garen, this isn't like a spoiler or anything, it's just like a really sweet part in the book that honestly I don't even really annotate, but I am literally like leaning towards annotating this part just because it's so sweet. There's a part where Garen, she gets really emotional and she like never gets emotional with anyone, and she's like starting to kind of like open up, and he's like breaking down her walls just like a little bit. And the guy verse, he goes, well, it says his grip on my face tightened, ensuring my focus was on him. And then he literally says the cutest thing like you will like ever see. It says, how do I explain how I feel without scaring you off? Or explain that something inside of me recognizes something inside of you, that your spirit feels familiar. That I know the wall you hide behind wasn't to keep me out, that rather than tearing it down, I'd like nothing more than to join you inside of it so you won't always be alone. That you're so dang beautiful, doesn't say dang, but you guys know I don't curse. Every time I lay eyes on you, it feels like a punch in my chest. That my breath quickens every time your name crosses my phone, and it says his brow furrowed as he paused. His bottom lip disappeared briefly between his teeth before he continued. I don't need you to be anything other than what you are right now. You as you are right now is more than enough, will always be more than enough. So freaking sweet. I just got done filming a fun book haul and I'm gonna post it in a few days, but it made me think about how I don't think I've even told you guys like why I'm gonna have like so much, I don't know, cool content coming soon or cool videos coming soon. And it's because I've decided to do Booktober, which if you guys don't know what that is, I don't even know if it's like a thing, but I used to do Vlogtober when I first started my channel back in like 2018, which is where you like vlog every single day for pretty much like a full month. And I've decided to do the same thing for like this channel. So there will be videos every single day, all of October, and I cannot wait. Like I'm so excited. Literally, there is a huge Amazon book haul coming soon with tons and tons of books. You guys can see the boxes over there. I also have a really fun unboxing coming with something that you guys have been telling me to get for the longest, and it's very bookish, and there'll be lots of bookish chats, lots of cool challenges. And I really decided to do this because one, I just love the community here, but two, I have so many like cool ideas and like challenges and stuff just in my noggin that I don't have time to like share with you each month, even though I do share 3 times a week. So this has definitely been an undertaking, like lots of late nights editing and filming, and I still have a lot to go because obviously we're not even in the month of October, but I've like pre-filmed a couple of like sit down videos, like the Amazon haul and things like that. I like pre-filmed a few things so that way you guys can actually have videos to watch. So the first video will go up on the 1st, which is a Sunday. So it's gonna be kind of crazy that you guys are gonna see a video on Sunday. But then there'll be a video every single day for all of October. So that's 30 videos. 30 videos, and normally I post 3 times a week. So just for your reference, that's a big difference. So I hope you guys really like it. I hope it's not too much for you. I will say that most of the videos will be a lot shorter. Like the first video that you guys will see on Sunday is a video where I blindly choose my TBR, and you guys saw my whole TBR video, but this will be me like picking the books that I'll read first. And so I don't know, that video is like only 12 minutes. So it's not like my typical time limit where I usually feel like I have book videos that are a lot longer than that. So I hope you guys really enjoy. You won't see like the 40-minute, 50-minute videos for every video. You'll still get some of those. But I feel like it'll be fun to have a video every single night, and it'll be kind of like gearing us up for Bookmas. And every year I always do like Vlogmas, and so this year it'll be Bookmas because I recently, I don't know, just like got inspired to like share more with you guys this month. So I'm really excited. I am so grateful for this community. I had no idea how much I would love this community or how much it would just change me in the best way. And it just feels so good to like have you guys all here. So comment below if you're excited. I do, what's it called? I literally can't even talk. I'm so excited. I do Vlogmas every single year, and this year it'll be Bookmas. So I thought this would be like a nice way to like dip my toe into getting excited for that. So yeah, I am really excited, but let's head out and do a little bit of reading. I literally have like 1 hour left of reading in this challenge, and it's been super fun. So let's go and finish that last hour. I decided to switch up where I'm reading for the last little bit of this challenge because the sun is setting. You guys know I love a good sunset, so we're gonna walk down by the water. It is so pretty. You can see that it's starting to get that like yellow color, and that's like, I don't know, my favorite time whenever it's like not even super dark, but you can just see like the colors coming out. I like to come and sit out here by these little rocks. We have my book. Literally, it feels so magical out here. The one thing I don't think I'll ever get over is the beauty of the Midwest. I truly feel like it's one of the best places to live, and I think it's just because it's so quiet. Like if you listen, it's just so quiet. Like you just hear like the birds, and you hear the animals, and you hear the bugs, and it's just so nice to be able to be in silence. There's even a parking lot up there, and it's like super empty because there's so many open spaces, and I feel like in larger areas like there's only a few open spaces, so they get so crowded with people, and like literally there is no one, absolutely no one around me, and I'm just like literally by myself. Like I own the place and I literally don't, and this is just like an open area, and there's so many places like this which I really enjoy. I did it. I completed another 24-hour reading challenge, and I did it pretty quick this time, at least for me. I ended up finishing this one in only a few days, and I just am like very proud because I feel like the last one, it took me way longer than I planned. But I think a large part of that was because I've just been in a really big reading mood since like fall has come. This is the timer. I'm all finished, so proud. And yeah, so I finished not one, not two, not three, not 4 books, but 5 books. And part of the books, I did have a couple already started. So we'll go through the ratings and the reviews of each one, but I am so happy I did this challenge. I feel like I always read so much, like, not faster, but I'm just like more intentional about like taking the time to read. Like I feel like sometimes I'll start reading and then I'll like get on my phone or just like not be focused or whatever. When I have a timer set, like I know that if I like stop reading and like check my phone or like watch TV or something, that I will stop my timer. So it kind of keeps me from like doing that, which is nice. So the first book that I read, well, I guess I don't really need to go in order. I'm just going in order of stack. I think it is the order that I read them though. I read Rootless by Crystal Zarapia. Really liked this book. I did give this 3 out of 5 stars. I can't remember if I told you guys I was gonna give it 3.5 or 3, but I was kind of deciding, and I kind of went with a 3 just because I still can't get over the ending. It like really shook me. I wish it kind of had a different ending, but I think I understand what the author was trying to do. I think the author did a great job of sharing a story that you don't see very often. And I will say, like, a 3 is not a bad rating, like by any means. I feel like a 3 is like average. 4 is like above average, like something that I like really, really love, and like, you know, I'll still recommend a 3, but like 4s are just like a little bit more obsessed with, and a 5 of course is like, can't get any better. And then 2s and 3s I'd say are the ones where I'm like, like I don't know if I'd recommend those, but a 3 to me is literally like average, it's good, I'll still recommend it. I don't want to say some of my favorite books, but some of my most recommended books are like a 3, so, or like 3.5, because even if it's not something that I necessarily am obsessed with, I can see someone being obsessed with it. Especially I feel like for this book, if you are in a stage of, I don't know, just like you're unsure about whether you want children, I think that this was a really good take on what it would look like for someone to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want children and then someone else who does, and they like kind of had to go through that together. Then I also read White Tears, Brown Scars, How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color by Ruby Hamad. This is a really, really good book that dives deep into racism of like all people of color, and not just like Black people, but also people of Arab descent and people of Asian descent, and just so many different communities, indigenous communities. And I really enjoyed reading this because I feel like the author is a journalist, so she really pulls from so many different things that have like actually happened in history, like all throughout history, like current history, past history. So I was very like stayed very interested, and you can literally see in the book, these are all these pages are where she like got her information, which I think is so cool. So if you want to dive deeper, you can. And I also think I really liked how this had like a very informal way of speaking. Like I feel like sometimes books about like race, or just books that talk about society itself, can sometimes feel a little bit like highbrow and like be hard to understand. And this was literally like I was talking to someone. It was very easy to understand. I will say it was not easy to digest, and I feel like if you are on your anti-racism journey, I think I said this should not be your first book. Like this should not be your first book, or you're gonna get your feelings hurt. So I'd read Nice Racism, White Fragility, or So You Want to Talk About Race as one of the 3 books that maybe you start with and read those first, and then come around to this bad boy, because it was a hard hitter and I really enjoyed it. I think I rated this one 4 stars. Very good, and I definitely will refer back to that again. Then I read Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron, and I rated this 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed this, and I think I enjoyed it because, one, the cultural story was not something that I hear very often. This is about a Muslim community where there's like family, friends, and there's like a couple that it's like really set or focused on, and I really enjoyed like hearing about like the food that people eat and the weddings and like how things go, and it's just like always nice to learn about different communities through like writing. I'm trying to look up the rating because I want to make sure that I like got the rating right. I think I did. And I also feel like this book was a really sweet one because, I don't know, both characters, you can tell they like are fighting to be like not interested in each other, or at least the girl is, because her parents like set her up with this guy. But it was like a nice progression. I feel like sometimes books, they go too fast or too slow, and I feel like this was just the perfect pace. And then the book after that I finished was The Love Con by Ceresia Glass, and I enjoyed this book as well. I feel like it was nice to see FMC who was like in a bigger body, who likes cosplay, who is doing something that's like a little bit different. She's on a TV show. I thought it was really cute. It was like a happy, fluffy read. I rated this a 3.5. I do wish there was a little bit more dialogue in this one, but overall, it was still really, really enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend this one if you're wanting something happy and fluffy. It felt like I was watching a movie the whole time. Like, just the whole reality thing, like, it felt very much like a movie. And then the last book that I finished, this actually took me a month to read. Like, I'm not kidding. And I think it's because I didn't get into this until probably 150 pages, and I kept telling myself, I've never DNF'd a book, for one. So I kept telling myself, like, if I don't like it, then, you know, I'll just share my rating and, like, move on. But I think I didn't really, I think it took me so long to read because I started, I want to say like beginning of September, and I'm obviously finishing it end of September, but I didn't read past 100 pages until like week 3, and then I didn't read past 150 pages until like this challenge, and so, or like around this challenge, maybe like a day or two before. So I was very, very like not in this book, and I really feel like this is my biggest tip for anyone who is reading or wanting to get into reading. If you're reading a book that is 300 pages, read at least 100 pages before you like put it down, or before you like try to jump into something else, or before you get like super bored, because I feel like if you're reading a book that's 100 pages, or 300 pages, it takes about 100 pages to really get into the story. Now, if you're 100 pages in and you're not obsessed with it, then like maybe you can move on, but I really feel like it takes 100 pages to truly get into the story. Now this one, I didn't even get to 100 pages, and this is 400 pages in a book. So I definitely was not in the book at all, like literally at all. I just barely stepped my toe in, and so I really should have just like read and like pushed through, because I feel like any book, not any book, but most books, they have like a buildup. You know, you have to get to know the characters, you have to care about the characters, and I do think some authors like immediately jump into like a specific scenario, so you're like hooked by a specific scenario, which I think is good too. But other authors, they have, I don't want to say a slow burn, but it's more of like a natural progression where they'll like kind of, I don't know, take you through the life of both characters, and then they like meet maybe like 100 pages in, or like 150 pages in. So this book I really enjoyed. I rated this 4 stars, and I really wish that I had read this honestly like to the 150 page mark earlier, because I would have finished it so fast. I stayed up late, like so late finishing this, because it was just that good. I read the quote to you guys obviously from this book, but there's so many other good quotes in this, and I literally at one point in the book I go, ah! Like I literally screamed. Like I was in a room by myself, literally screaming to a book. Like screaming to a book. I can't even understand like how I just get to this point. But so I think I shared what this book is about. It's a girl who's wanting to get artifacts for one of her clients. She's like a person who gets like all these historic artifacts for people, and I'm pretty sure I already said this, but the guy, he is like, yeah, I'll give you the artifacts that you're trying to buy as long as I can like have you. And like, not like have you like possession, but like take you on a date, like have your interest pretty much. And so he's like 6 weeks, like give me your time for 6 weeks. And ooh, oh my gosh, in those 6 weeks, ah! Oh my god, I literally can't. But it was very good. I will say this was spicy, but I mean, what book isn't these days? I think every book that I read, actually, I don't think The Love Con, actually, maybe it did. I can't even remember. Honestly, look it up for yourself, because I feel like every book has some kind of spice in it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back on Sunday for another video, and you guys will get a video every single day for the entire month of October. I hope you're excited. This has been a big undertaking for me, and we're going into my busy season, which is October through like December. And one of you guys actually wanted me to talk about my job, and I guess I don't really have like much to say. Maybe like comment any questions you have if you do have questions about my job. But I'm an influencer in like anytime you think of an influencer on like Instagram or like TikTok, that's like what I am. But the thing about being an influencer is like there's different like, so I share books here, but on TikTok and on Instagram, I share like self-love, positivity. So it's great for you guys to hang out over there. I do talk about books over there too, but there's like, it's different content. So I have just like went full time with that. I think it was almost 3 years now. It's like 2 years and like 8 months or something since I went full-time as a influencer, and I love what I do, love it so much, and it is like literally just makes my heart so warm. But with that, busy season is literally October through December, and so it's busy throughout the year, but it's like busy. Like October through December is like, you can't catch a breath, you're up until 3 a.m. Like you are just like working nonstop. It is just so busy. So I feel like this is gearing up into busy season, and even though I am like not quite in the trenches yet, but I'm like getting there, I still wanted to make a priority to like make videos every single day because I just love you guys so much, and I love hanging out here, and it just makes me happy, and I had so many book ideas that I wanted to share with you guys. So anyway, I thought it would be fun, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will come back for the next video on Sunday and for all the videos thereafter. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.